Hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? Guys, can you believe it? It's my last day of vacation. So, what did I do today? Not a whole lot. I went to Walmart at I think about 8 a.m. just to get some little things before heading back to work. So, at least I'm going back in the middle of the week. I think that's going to make it all the difference. All the difference in the world. Guys, I'm still in vacation mode. I don't know what to tell you. I was on here yesterday chatting about some of the wonderful things that we brought back from St. Lucia. Look at us, I disrupt everything today. So I thought I'd come on here again and talk about this trip that we had. And guys, I got a little gift, so I thought I'd open it on here. So I didn't realize this was being purchased for me, but it was. How thoughtful. So it's a tea towel, which is wonderful for the kitchen. I love the bright colors. I don't want to rip. Oh my goodness. Even better. Look at the parrot on it. Can you see that? So that looks awesome. And that's not a parrot. So forget what I said about that bird. And I'm sure it is, yeah, a picture of the Piton, which is pretty amazing. And then we've got boats in the water and St. Lucia. So I really love that. It's nice cotton. Is it cotton? Yeah, 100% cotton. And that's going to be really nice to put in the kitchen, especially with all the bright colors. So I know yesterday when I was on here, some people had mentioned that they wanted to see some more of the masks that we collect. That's sort of my go-to when we go to these islands. Love that tea towel, is collecting masks. So I probably started, I don't know, like 10 years ago. And one of my first masks, which is still up on the wall, I haven't taken them all down, but I took I took a few down for you to see. But this is one of my older ones as well. And this one I actually got in Cuba. So this is, hello everybody, welcome, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. So this is actually made out of wood, hand carved. We met the artist in the market when we went there, but yeah, this one is Cuba. Very different than any of the other masks that we have in the collection. Also, never noticed this heart, but definitely did once we had it up on the wall. So this one was Cuba, nice and light wood, which is different because most of the masks are dark. So I remember I bought a second one. I gave it away as a gift, and I don't remember at all if it was light wood like this, but literally this was the only time that we've seen the light wood or it not being painted. Let me know if you guys want to see the ornaments that we got, because that's another thing that I make sure to get wherever we travel. I know yesterday I was showing them. Okay, so this one, this is another thing that always gets me worried, is on the way home, because I always pack the masks in my checked luggage, which, sidebar, that's so funny, because if you travel nowadays, everybody travels like with the small carry-on because they don't want to be bothered with checking their bags and losing it. And I get that, right? Like, totally understand. But they have no faith in the airline that the airline's not going to lose their bag. But let's just say, if I did that, there would be no way that I could get these big masks home. So this was the one that I got this summer. This is probably the biggest in the collection. So this one is actually from Antigua. We got that this summer. I love seeing the different carvings. So this one obviously has a massive alligator. And then just a small little Antigua on it. I wish there was more carving on this one as far as the place that it came from. But this is another nice one. So you'll see with some of the other masks that I show you, the eyes are all very similar. So these eyes are much more similar to the other masks that I have versus the first mask, or basically one of the first masks that I got in Cuba. So very different eyes, which I find interesting. And we were talking to one of the woodworkers, and he was saying that it all depends on the region and that what the masks look like. Guys, I'm going to show you my ornament. I don't care. I'm going to show them again. But that's another thing that we love collecting. So I thought I lost this in the suitcase, and I was like, no, I packed everything. I'm one of those people that once I'm done packing, then I look in the room again, and then I go back again. And then right before you have to check it out and your keys don't work, then I search the room again. So I know I didn't leave it behind. And guys, I found him swimming in my suitcase yesterday. But look at, isn't he awesome? When I don't normally get animals for the Christmas tree, but I thought this looked so great. What do you guys think? And I thought I didn't want a green one because obviously he would totally blend in with the tree. So this little guy, I don't know what I'm going to name him, but he's going on the Christmas tree. And I'm so happy that he made it back unharmed. And then we actually got a globe back, which was also nice because it didn't break. So this one is kind of abstract. Says St. Lucia on it. Doesn't say the year. Still a beautiful ornament. Hello, everybody. I hope your, what is it, Tuesday? Tuesday's going good. I am coming to terms with the fact that I go back to work tomorrow. So there will be no midday lives, but that's why there's that subscribe button, because I normally go on in the evenings depending on what's happening. So guys, those are the ornaments. What do you think? Turtle or the globe? Turtle or the globe? I'm going turtle. Okay, so back to the masks, because that's really why I took all these off the wall. Okay, so this was the next mask that we just got this one in St. Lucia. So he doesn't have a place up on the wall yet. So he'll go up there. So this is apparently from the Caribs. That's what the carver was telling us. And then this, obviously palm tree, tree of life. So he explained to us that if a woman has difficulty having children, then after birth, she buries the umbilical cord and they plant this palm tree. Thanks for subscribing there. They plant this palm tree over top, and then it grows strong into a beautiful, hello there. Thank you for subscribing. It grows into a beautiful palm tree. So because I am a mother, I obviously related to this story. So that is why we went with this one from St. Lucia. And then I wanted to show you that, see, we had something similar to this, and this one is from Jamaica. So this was another one that we got on our first trip to Jamaica. Yeah, I have two more from Jamaica that are up on the wall. So this, again, similar to the one that we got in St. Lucia. Funny, the one in St. Lucia is the first one that we have that doesn't have the eyes cut out of it, whereas all of the other ones, they do. But similar features. And obviously islands that are not too far away from each other. Haunted. I don't know if these are haunted. They're not, definitely not voodoo or from the islands where voodoo is practiced, but to each their own, I suppose. Another beautiful one that we ended up picking up 2 in St. Lucia. This guy too doesn't have a spot on the wall, but it is very different than any of the other ones that we have. Look at the carving on the back. So I was so impressed with the man's carving. I mean, yes, I know he does that for life, but I could never do that in like the 5 minutes that it took him. So here's the front of this mask. So very different from anything else that we have in the collection at the moment. And these were all hand painted, hand dotted. So we thought this was a very interesting mask. So we're going to add that to the collection, which will brighten it up. Mind you, it's very different than like our other masks. So we'll see how things will go together. And what'll be the best pattern on the wall? I'm not sure, because the wall that I'm using is actually the wall that's going up the stairs. So I'm making it as if the masks are sort of climbing up the stairs. So it looks great. And then this one, this is one, if not my first mask, the one after Cuba, which was from Punta Cana. So much bigger eyes, cut out mouth on this one though, unlike some of the other ones. Says Punta Cana here. This one has a nice big fish on it. I'm a Pisces, so I definitely relate to that. And I like this one on the wall as well. We have another one that has somebody like a hand in a hand feeding, which is very beautiful. So they all have different meanings, and it's definitely something that we like to collect, or it's definitely something I like to collect. And guys, if you weren't here yesterday, look at what I got. Boom, banana ketchup. Have you seen this before? Yes, I'm so excited to have a barbecue when the weather gets nice. As you can see outside, we have a ton of snow. So it is going to take a while. But yeah, banana ketchup straight from St. Lucia. Whatever you do, pack this in your suitcase. They will not allow you to bring this on the plane in your carry-on. So don't get it confiscated at the border. Sorry, at the customs going through TSA or whatever, because this stuff is excellent. So I'll just read you the ingredients. So we've got filtered water, banana, sugar, salt, cornstarch, acidity, onion, garlic, hot sauce, preservatives, color. Great with fries, barbecue, or in replacement of traditional ketchup, which is awesome. It has a little bit of a kick. It's going to be excellent on barbecue meats. And yeah, I'm really excited to use that. So I think they sell it on Amazon as well. Guys, another super cool thing that I didn't get around to yesterday was showing my bags, which I get on every vacation. So this is the Piton. So this will be excellent for, I'm not sure where, but next vacation for sure. I like the bright colors, and I like the fact that it shows the Piton, which is great. The next bag, this one I really liked when I walked by the vendor, so I actually came back to it. So I think this will look great around the pool. It'll look great with a white outfit. I have a white outfit with a blue swimsuit and a blue pattern, so I think this gold will really pop. And the last one is this one, which, again, super nice. This one's not mine, however, this is somebody else's. But another nice, beautiful bag. Says St. Lucia on it. And the price of these were excellent. I must say, the best thing to do when you go away is to go to the capital cities. Go to the markets, go somewhere where like you're shopping local prices. For example, when we were in Antigua, they wanted, I think, something like $30 US a bag on the resort. And then we went into town and they were $13 US. So I was like, yeah, it's silly to not explore and go off the island. In fact, when we were in St. Lucia, we actually rented a private taxi, came, picked us up at the hotel, took us to the local market in the capital. From there, waited. So we saw him around the market in case we had questions. And then took us to a craft, like a local market, where that's actually where I purchased this mask. And then he just circled the block and was like, all right, get back in. So the thing is, if you're traveling, don't be scared to explore and like meet people and maybe go outside of your comfort zone. Because when you explore the islands and places like that, those memories are amazing. Please, everybody, think about subscribing. I love talking about traveling. I'm actually doing some editing right now, so I'm going to have some great videos coming up from our trip to St. Lucia. We stayed at the Zoetree in Marigot Bay, which is awesome. So I've got a lot of great pictures and footage from there. So for any of you that don't know, that's where they filmed the first Pirates of the Caribbean. So picturesque, like you would not believe. But absolutely, go out and explore when you travel, because you get great prices, you meet locals, you can give back a little bit if you're into that. So it's very important. So this is actually where we stayed. This is Marigot Bay at sunset. So it was beautiful. I will say this, because obviously St. Lucia is extremely volcanic and mountainous, that the beaches are very different from some of the other islands that we've been to. Now, that being said, that was something that we knew going into it. You have to do your research. If you're not doing your research, you only have yourself to blame. And luckily, my husband, he does so much research into these things that I'm very lucky, because like we basically knew where we were walking in the city because we had watched so much footage and other things on it. So I mean, that's great. It also takes away a little bit of the surprise. But on the other hand, I'd kind of rather have an idea of where I'm going and what I'm doing versus not. So I just wanted to get on here and see what was going on. I have to try and figure out how I'm going to put those masks on the wall, or what pattern I'm going to do. So I might, I don't know, maybe I'll do a live to figure out what people think. Again, it's going up the wall, so that also plays a role into which ones are beside one another. Anyways, these are all things I'll figure out. So think about subscribing, and hopefully we'll see you soon.